within me.
Fire within me.
Air above me.
Water around me.
Earth beneath me.
Sorry, I enunciated that way too much. Around, like a bomb. Bomb garden.
I'd like a glass of water.
Water.
Water around me.
And welcome, Tir Na Noggers.
Every days are here again. Talenta, Honna an Shotterish.
Yeah, there we go. You got a bit of Irish, lads.
There you go. Os Gaelga,
yes,
baby.
Stephen, Stefan.
Stefan.
I think as Irishmen, it's our duty today to teach the kids a bit of Irish. You know, cúpla focal Os Gaelga. Because if you're a true dub, you know, fuck all Irish.
Yep.
Because it's not taught very well in school.
No, I mean, we were basically forced at gunpoint to learn from terrible teachers for 20 years. And the worst thing you can make a kid do is to force them to do something. You've got to convince them that they want to do it. That's how you teach.
Yeah, it annoyed me because, you know, when we come out to our junior cert years, the first year of learning French, I'm better at French than Irish.
Yeah.
And the Irish had, 8-year head start.
Yeah.
It's like that. Like, it's a tough language.
It is. It's so ancient that it doesn't really fit in with the modern templates of other world languages. It's just so different.
Like there's extra H's and AIGHTs in there.
Yeah.
You know?
BHFs, which sound like a W.
Yes.
You know? Sure.
Steve, we'll give him a bit of Irish. Okay, can you give me my name as V1?
V1 is Anam Dum.
I love it. I like chocolate.
Is Motlum Chocolate.
Okay, what's Cockamillish?
Cake.
Okay, you like cake too? And a very important one, can I go to the toilet, please?
Onwil, Cadagum, Dolgadi on Leharis, Mosse de Hulle.
Oh, there we go. We just burnt into your head there.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't go to the bathroom otherwise.
Yeah. If you didn't ask in Irish, there was like not a fucking chance that you were going to get to go. There was that famous ad back in the late 90s or early 90s, and Tá Scammel sa spare, and the Madra Aaron Tolive. Tá Fwiniog sa Gorgine, August Sharon Niviol.
I love it.
You remember that ad?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Slodge. I'll see if it's on the internet. Splicey.
A poem in our native Irish tongue.
Agus Madra Rua is Malum Cockamillish.
Cockamillish.
Agus Sharon Ní Violon. Toganziorum. Toscamo Sesper. Turdom on Cockamillish.
Sláinte to Declan, aka Spaceman, for choosing this. Mystic Knights of Tir Na Nog.
Far na spás.
Although the English would have called it Tir Na Nog.
Yeah. You know, they don't have the fodder, so you know that elongates the vowels. You know.
We'll check in with Spaceman after running down this our Nogger You Bra of the highest tier. And if you're on it, you can request a movie or a small block of kind of TV shows if it's not too intense, which we're doing now. And you too can have your film request filled sometime in the next 7 years. Are we putting up against that? Yes, it's starting now. But you can enjoy this and other Nogger You exclusives at
noggeryou.oswreview.com.
So you think it's a better idea to say that at the start and not like an hour into the video?
Yes, when my brain is mush.
Yes. But hey, how about a quick Mystic Knights retrospective?
Ooh. Retrospective.
Produced by Saban Entertainment of Haim Saban, a multi-billionaire Israeli-American businessman. He first got an in doing the music for kids' TV shows. He was wildly overcredited for it. Like, he had 10 composers threaten to sue to give them credit, and he settled out of court.
That's the American dream, right? It's the Israeli-American dream right there.
He smartly cut a deal to repackage and adapt Power Rangers for the West and other tokusatsu live-action TV shows with a heavy use of practical SFX, as in Power Rangers or Power Rangers-esque franchises.
People in a suit prancing around.
Yes. So with the success of Power Rangers, Saban created and developed more similar kid-friendly series. Steve, any thoughts on these shows? Power Rangers?
I loved the original, maybe 1 or 2 seasons of the Power Rangers. That came out just as I was at the right age for it, 10 to 12. I definitely watched up until the point where they lost the Megazords, and then they had to go to the jungle and get the ninja suits, and then they got their animal Zords. So that's around the time when I dropped out, and I loved it. I think it's fair to say that any young lad who was watching the Power Rangers at that time, one of their first crushes was probably the Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson.
Yes. Question, so the pink was the girl...
Yes.
It was it? Was the black Power Ranger black?
The black was the black one. The yellow was the Asian lady. The red was, I think he may have been Native American.
Oh my God, this is it. Listen, this is
brilliant.
pro wrestling levels. of stereotype.
There was no Irish lad in there.
Why not?
And they should have had a Northern Irish lad who was orange.
Oh my God, lads. Mask Rider?
I've never seen The Masked Rider.
Okay. VR Troopers?
I love... We are VR virtual insanity.
We are VR. Troopers 3. Virtual reality. Troopers 3. Virtual reality.
Yeah.
Not just for Jamiroquai. How was it?
Very like the Power Rangers. It was like what old people thought the future was going to be like. You know what I mean? Like everything's going to be online. You're going to jack in.
Okay, you're fine with that. Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation.
No, I've never seen that.
No, that didn't go well. That was very late in the day. I think that was like 97 or something.
Okay, yeah. So like probably would have been a bit too old at that point.
And live action as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Ooh, I know of the Beetleborgs. I don't know if I ever saw the Beetleborgs. Did he do the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad?
I can't believe he said that in one go. No, that wasn't him.
With a Kilo Khan, voiced by Tim Curry.
Wow.
Who did
when he wasn't it.
Yeah.
So he's like, bringing in the kids one way, pushing out the kids the other way.
Were you singing Blur there?
I was.
Right.
Beetleborgs.
Hey, I'm Saban.
Drinking to Borg. That I got. So, what about 1998's Mystic Knights of Tir Na Nog? It is a Power Rangers RPG if it was set in Ireland.
I think that's an absolutely perfect way of putting it, yeah.
Which, for a rip-off, is actually quite decently unique. Whereas Power Rangers was a Japanese show, so from the East, which rewrote and repackaged the non-fight scenes for the West, this is an entirely Western production. So instead of East meets West, it's West meets West.
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 The West meets the West.
I love it. Saban wanted a more original series that didn't depend on Japan at all. One with its own completely separate line of merchandise.
Whoa.
Why Ireland? Why any company comes here? Tax incentives.
Thank you, Bertie.
And does any of the money stay in the country? No.
And it's gone.
The American production came over and filmed mostly in Ireland and some in Germany. County Tip is featured a lot, like the castle is Cahir Castle, built in 1142 by the King of Thomond.
I want to point out, I recognised it immediately because I did go to Cahir Castle like 2022. It was my first time ever going there, which is lovely. And then we went to the Rock of Cashel, which we said fuck off because they wanted to charge it.
Oh!
Yeah, but Cahir Castle is free.
Oh, good. It's like, 1142, that's almost 900 years ago. Is that weird for Americans to hear about?
It has to be. I don't think, the way that there's the memes, the way their continent is enormous and their roads to cross it is 11 billion miles long. And they're like, Europeans can't even comprehend this. I feel like we have that, but in terms of age
and time.
Yeah, and time.
Yeah.
Like
Ireland is fucking ancient.
Yes.
We have castles and castle walls and turrets and millennia old books and all kinds of shit just strewn around the place.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah, we have a freestanding structure, which I'm sure obviously people from Ireland know about it, but New Grange, it's older than the pyramids.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's like 6,000 years old, and it's incredible.
Take that, Egyptians! The production crew included lots of Irish. Quite a few of them straight out of college, given pretty rudimentary programs, as you can tell, and tasked to create a ton of VFX on a tight turnaround scale. And it was, 1997 and a kids' TV show, so yeah, super ropey, but for what it was, it's much better than you would have expected to come out of that production line, you know? Like the volume of SFX as fighting magical beasts is part of the show.
Yeah.
By the way, Spaceman asked us to review the movie, which is a recut of episodes 4 to 6 together into an hour 20. But Jesus. Let's just review episodes 1 to 3 as well, so we can kind of get the whole experience.
Yeah. I was gonna Power Rangers is like, hey, every week we've got Monster of the Week, a separate plot, and then what happens last week, for the most part, doesn't have any bearing on what's coming up. But this is a serialized TV show. Like, it's got a plot that spans an entire season. So
yeah, it builds. Yeah.
So you have to have seen it all. So it's like Power Rangers is, Law and Order, and Tir Na Nog is like Breaking Bad.
Yes! Yes!
I couldn't even finish the sentence. I couldn't even finish it.
Airing on Fox Kids in the States, Super in Germany, and sure, I've seen it in RT2 or something here in Ireland. Let's see how the first arc of the show went down. Let's do it!
Let's fucking
1
do
to
it.
6. Episode 1, Cod, aka Irish Getafix, shows off his potion skills, conjuring a shit CGI skeleton.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. You know those CD-ROM board games where some kind of animal might get summoned, but they can't go beyond the scope of the square. So they won't move, but they will move arms and flail. That's what this is.
Yeah, but you watch it, If you come into that square, you're for it, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had, this is just getting hit with the CGI of the face. Oh my God. 90s Irish CG.
Yeah.
We meet Rohan, the main hero, who in another show would be a dim-witted friend, but we've also got his mate, Angus O'Pickpocket. They both bump into Princess Deirdre. They both knock her down and both, hey, I'll pick you up, hey, because wouldn't mind picking you up.
Yeah, I'm saying she's very cute.
She is. She does that wrestler thing where her line was, release me, fools, and they had both already released her, but she has to say it anyway. It's like when wrestlers start their promo with cut the music, and it's the music's cut.
Yeah.
Release me, fools!
Evil Queen Maeve sits at the head of a picnic table, celebrating their new peace treaty with the lads of
Temra.
Temra's the bad area, whereas the good one is...
Oh, Kells.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, so she's up in Kells celebrating the new peace treaty when it's revealed she double-crossed them and her army is at the gates. And I was like, she is there literally with just her and, is it her husband or her main general, alone in the opposition's castle.
That's very, like, if this was Game of Thrones, they'd already be dead.
Yeah, like that, and that's the end of the show.
Yeah.
Mystic Knights, Tir Na Nog. 4 minutes in. So the goodies live in a castle of Kells. If you're just wondering, Kells is a town in County Meath founded by High King Cormac, home of the most famous monastery in Ireland. You might have heard of the Book of Kells, which you can visit and see in Trinity College. It is free if you are going to college and if you bring people in with you, but otherwise if you're a tourist, you gotta pay.
You gotta pay the money. Yeah.
It was written over the 6th to 9th century in Ireland. It's an illustrated manuscript of the Celtic Gospel in Latin for a bit of New Testament Oscailiga. Beautiful artwork as well.
Absolutely stunning. So me and you, Jay, we went to university in Trinity College. I don't know if you ever went into the Book of Kells, yeah?
Yeah, I was able to bring in some of my relatives when they came to visit.
Yeah, it's great. Long before we went, they used to turn a page every day. But then they found out that the oils in the fingers were beginning to badly damage this centuries-old book. And so by the time we went to college, it was in a glass case, and they would only open it and turn a page, I think, once every 3 months.
Oh.
It's absolutely gorgeous. And before you get to see the Book of Kells, you get to walk through the famous library, which is the one that they modelled after in Star Wars Episode 2.
Yeah. That's where Count Dooku, he deleted... Was it Camino from the Jedi Library?
Isn't that a car?
They don't exist anymore. Don't make them.
I believe it's called the Long Room or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Back at Queen Maeve's gaff, she's evil, you see. She summons Mitre, a tiny evil gremlin guy, for his black magic. Evil motherfucker. Gives her a darkly powerful green runestone, which now sits in her staff. Testing its power, she conjures a generic, evil, muscly demon. All right, yeah, it's mid-90s CGI. It's like CGI you'd see in a music video.
Yes, I was just like, this is like Crazy Frog, Abe's Odyssey kind of level graphics, isn't it?
A ding, 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 ding. Just what you say.
Ding, 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 nog, nog.
So at Castle Babyface, King Connacher and his fake beard.
Oh, it's so bad. Look, I'm like, mate, just don't shave for a week. Come on.
There's only one real beard in this show. Merlin.
Yeah, God.
Yeah. So King Connacher chats to the goodies, including Princess Deirdre, about all the doings going on. By the way, Maeve, Deirdre, it's so funny hearing like regular Irish names presented as their mystical legendary figures.
Yeah, like my mom's sister is named Deirdre, and like see her all the time, and so I hear that, and I don't hear, mystical princess legend. I hear, how you did, auntie, you know what I mean?
She'd give you some Roundtree's fruit gums or something, fruit pasties.
Yes, a couple of silver mints.
Oh, hey. They're told of the prophecy that they must find the warrior Draganta, who will bring peace to the lands and save Kells, which is something they won't get to until episode 9.
Okay.
So it's outside our remit. By the way, it's weird having breathtaking real scenery shot around Ireland, but it's not shot or presented nicely. Like, we're looking low def, 4:3, no color grading, flat shots.
Yeah. Also, it's Ireland, so if you want a gorgeous vista shot, you have a window of about 4 minutes in June. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're just going to get grey, overcast, misty Ireland, which is what it is 362 days every year.
Man, they did well with shooting this show.
Yeah.
Because it was never raining outside.
Yeah, they were very lucky.
Well done. Like when they're shooting Kerr Castle, obviously it's incredible, but it looks naff on the show. It's like, do you remember Mortal Kombat 2? They have a shot of this stone ruin in Petra.
Yeah.
And they zoom out and it looks terrible. But if you were to see it in reality, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you know? Anyway, this is intensely fast-paced. The adventure is set in 16 minutes. Do you know? Like, we did Hobbit 1 and Bilbo, I'm going on an adventure. 45 minutes in.
Yeah. I was quite glad that there wasn't singing while they were doing dishes here today. That was very nice. I do appreciate that. I just want to make a special notice. So King Connacher, okay? He's meant to be this, brave, legendary king of the Kingdom of Kells, the most affluent, biggest kingdom in Ireland. Although the High King lived in a different place in Tara. So, that's a different story. But anyway, Queen Maeve comes to him and says, I want Kells. That's mine. Give it to me. And he's like, okay, yeah, take it. Go on. I don't want to go to war. I don't want to risk anyone. So you can just take everything. And like Deirdre is like, what are you doing? Jesus. So yeah, I feel like they didn't put the king over very well.
I guess you need the knights to be brave and a need for a reason for them to get together. So unfortunately, he has to look like a cowardly little bitch.
I mean, they could have gotten the same way by saying, "Oh, Queen Maeve, I will fight you. I will find a way." And then go, "Oh, I'm going to choose you as my mystic knight."
There we go.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You trusted my counsel in the past. Trust it now. It may be our only hope. I doubt my own judgment. Rohan, go forward.
The lads set off on their quest to get weapons, and they are immediately jumped by an Englishman.
From a land afar.
About half an hour that way. They're duped and strung up, but they quickly show that the Englishman is also a babyface as he cuts them down for a fairer fight. Rohan tries to impress him and, get him to ward off by swinging his sword. It's like, you can't swing this. This is like if I tried it right now to swing a sword. It was terrible.
It was really
You're
bad.
showing him that you can't handle the sword.
Yeah.
He just looks like a knob. But the Englishman, Ivar is his name. Ivar Biggin.
Hey-o.
His overall quest is finding a thief of an important jewel to his people, which isn't resolved anytime soon. They find their way to this gateway stone, and they're followed by a hooded figure. Well, it's obviously Deirdre, because as soon as she's attacked, she throws off Rohan to do no actual damage to him. It's like, okay, you're a babyface.
Yeah.
Deirdre!
How dare you kick a princess!
Well, how was I supposed to know?
And the foursome are teleported and fall to their doom.
Oh my god.
And that's the end of episode 1. Any thoughts?
It was a 20-minute reasoning to begin your quest. So, I did just say that I'm glad that it wasn't 40 minutes of having a dinner and doing the dishes, but it was still 20 minutes of, doing some kind of dishes, you know what I mean? But it was fine. It was charming. I quite enjoyed it, and I didn't watch this first episode and go, "Oh, what am I doing with my life?" I was like, okay, episode 2.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of stuff happens, but no one's talking. I think he could have got across the situation with a 5-minute dinner scene rather than a 20-second dinner scene.
Honestly, you probably could have gotten everything you needed to get across with a 60-second intro. The year is 927. The land of Kells has been in battle with Temra for decades. Queen Maeve, at the helm, wants to take over Kells for her own evil schemes. Enter 4 brave warriors who decide to take on the mantle of the Mystic Knights, defeat Queen Maeve, and save Kells for 100 lifetimes.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was great.
I literally just made that
yeah.
up on the top of my head. That wasn't even written down.
There you
know
go.
what I mean?
You
You could have done it in a 60-second intro.
Okay. Episode 2 is where our heroes travel to Tir Na Nog. I was like, oh, actually, I'll give you a quick sniffle about the actual legend of Tir Na Nog. So Tir Na Nog, land of the young. So Nog, the young. The most famous place in Irish folklore. An island paradise said to give its inhabitants everlasting youth, beauty, health, abundance and joy. Various Irish mythical heroes visited there, traversing his never regular way, like through mist or underwater or on an enchanted boat.
Or on a horse that you go through the sea.
Yes, a place of forested wilderness, a beautiful flowery meadow. But it's not without woe. Oisin, a human man, fell in love with Niamh from Tir Na Nog, aka the other world or the land of the young. She brings him to this land on a magical horse
Ember?
that can gallop over water. Oisin spends 3 years there. See, everything in the land is kind of multiples of 3, so 3 months, 3 years, that kind of thing. And after the 3 years, he's getting homesick and he wishes to return home. She says, you shouldn't, but if you have to, go by the horse, but never dismount. Do not touch the ground. He's like, okay then. He gallops back across the sea to his village, but finds 300 years have passed.
Yeah, now question. He can't touch the ground. Can he touch pancakes?
If that took me a minute, yeah. Pancakes are not flour. So
Okay,
yes.
boom!
Yeah,
There we go.
He's staying in the Tir Na Nog Royal Rumble. So 300 years have passed. His family, their children, and their children's children, and their children's children's children have long passed. Aghast, he falls from his horse to the ground, ages 300 years instantly, and dies. Another Irish happy ending. So, in Mystic Knights, how did they showcase Tir Na Nog? Because that's where their heroes end up. It's like, it's the entire cast of Life's Too Short. Depicted here as caves full of little people.
Yeah, but where's Darby O'Gill?
It is not leprechauns, but garden gnomes.
Yeah. There is a very clear distinction between fairies, elves, and little people. They are not the same things. They're all different beings.
Can you explain the difference?
So elves are the little small evil lads that generally spy for Queen Maeve, and they have magic, and in general they're tricksters. They're up to no good. Fairies is the cute little ones with the wings who have the good magic, and they're generally forces for good.
Like
and
Aiden?
yeah,
Aiden?
yeah. And little people are just smaller versions of real people who live underground in the land of Tir Na Nog.
Very good, Stephen. But they still trick people with a pot of gold.
Yes.
This is why I'm here. Do you need a hand, laddie?
Their king, it sounds like they keep saying Finn Balor, Finn Balor.
The exact same thing over and over again, yeah.
I was like, it's King Finn Vara.
Vara.
Yeah. Rohan shows him, hey, look, I've got the 12-inch pythons. I'm the chosen one. And they get a scroll and like, hey, prophecy, prophecy. Finn Vara is willing to help them if they can prove themselves worthy of their help by passing a test.
Perhaps you are the chosen one. Or perhaps not. Perhaps you are the chosen one. The chosen one.
The chosen one.
The four of you must prove yourselves worthy of my help by passing the test.
So, well, they do. So otherwise, we wouldn't have a show.
Yeah.
So the tests are for each one that they didn't tell them about, but showing bravery, like helping Ivar out of a pickle. He was stuck and was going to get crushed.
Yeah.
So you helped
It
him
was
out.
like the episode 4 trash compactor scene, you know, where Rohan had to use a sword to help out Ivar.
Loyalty, which is Ivar thanks him by swearing a life debt. Unselfishness, Deirdre puts her friend's safety over hers, said, hey, just take me, let me go. And my favourite here is honesty, where Angus believes a trickster with the red and blue stepping puzzle. And I'm like, two things is one of them is those stones that's straight out of the Giant's Causeway.
I literally was thinking the exact same thing, yeah, that those hexagon-shaped stone thingamabobs.
If you're wondering how do you get that shape, it's this specific type of rock. It's basalt rock, and there'd be like magma underground is trying to get to the sea, and it kind of seeps in and it creates cracks, and then that would go down and then water would come in and create bigger fissures, and then repeat that over again with the magma and the water, and that it ends up creating this hexagonal shape between them.
It's awesome looking.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
It looks otherworldly. By the way, they jump on only the red stones, and because that was the answer. Quit hot dogging. They're like kind of ninja warring around. It's like, oh, am I gonna fall? Dude, these are large stones. What are you doing? Quit working it.
Yeah.
But hey, they passed the test, and it was like, here you go, here's your weapons, and it was like they float over these CG weapons. It was like, we can't use CG. Can we have real weapons, please? But thankfully, they get them.
My armorers have made you the finest weapons in all the land. Use them wisely, and they'll serve you well.
Okay, we're going to talk about these weapons, right?
Yeah.
So Deirdre gets a crossbow, which can fire bolts of wind. Ivar gets a trident, which you would think it's, going to have some water-based power. Electricity.
That's like the opposite of water.
That's like the last thing you would want, right? Because it would just be killing yourself every time you used it.
But I will say that would be the most useful in this kind of medieval-ish zone, because everyone's has a bit of metal on them.
Ooh, okay. Angus has a big giant mace or flail, and
Which he uses to kind of ground pound mostly.
yeah,
And do it
like a earthquakey
Yes.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Rohan, who turns out he had his weapon all along. His sword becomes the Sword of Kells, which is basically the blasphemous blade where he can fire out bolts of flames.
Steve, you've ruined my question. If you were a mystic knight of Tir Na Nog, what weapon would you have?
It would be the blasphemous blade in my good hand and the sacred relic sword in my own hand.
You wouldn't need the rest of the night.
No, everything is just V1 on the mythical quest by himself, and it's over by episode 3.
Just in time to turn the tide of Queen Maeve's assault on the kingdom. And I was watching, so, you see the lads with their Kit Kat armor. And I was looking at the heels with their silver and purple outfit. And I was looking at them. I was like, your ma made this. Everyone's ma was enlisted.
Yeah. This show brought to you by Trim, And I love how they win the battle, Queen Maeve is raging. And she's like, whoa, I'll get you next week. It's great.
This is not the end. I will return with more powerful creatures and finish what I started. The kingdom of Kells will be mine.
The attack of the castle, and I was like, yeah, eat your heart out, Helm's Deep. Anyway, it's so Power Rangers because you get the kind of daytime natural grading when they kind of have this single shot of one of the Power Rangers looking up with their weapon and their seat. That's so Power Rangers.
Yeah, but it's just, in general, I think the show is written better than an episode of the Power Rangers, but the combat scenes are so much worse because we don't have awesome Japanese athletes doing martial arts.
Yeah.
And we also, probably because they didn't have the money to pay for 4 extra people, we don't have weapon experts coming in who can swing a sword. So we've got fucking the actor who plays Rohan just going,
Yeah.
the fucking state of it.
Yeah, and it's like you can't even try to kayfabe it because when they get their super armor, you can still see their faces in it.
Yeah.
Except for, I think, Rowan.
Yeah, who's got a bit of a ninja mask.
Yeah, but the rest of them, you can see if it's still them,
Yeah, but, we'll talk about it when we get there. I was going to say, but Deirdre can't see them.
Yeah, listen, they all get their powers. That's not a spoiler. They all get the suits. But yeah, Deirdre, her helmet doesn't fit her.
It's lopsided. So
it's like a stormtrooper's helmet. If you ever see the head inside of a stormtrooper's
so
helmet.
Fucking funny. So they do eventually get their suits and they have their, it's morphin' time. And it pans to a pre-cut 5-second clip of, their regular clothes turning into their armor. And it ends with the pan and scan with each character kind of turning and facing the camera, and you get to see their mask/helmet. And Deirdre, when she turns around, her helmet is ill-fitting and a bit lopsided, and it's like she clearly can't see out of it, and I love it.
Oh my god, it's like they didn't have a nose bridge in it.
Yeah,
to just expect her to not have a nose.
Brilliant.
Should have given it to Voldemort. Just Rowan's chainmail. It's so shit. It has 100 loops, and the whole thing to cover his body has about 100 loops, and it's like you just went to Claire's accessories and got the hoops, didn't you? Even worse because Maeve rides up on her horse and she's got proper chainmail.
Yeah,
and it looks great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the good guys win, and so Maeve is thwarted, and we will see you in the next episode.
Let this victory be just the beginning. I give you a Mystic Knight.
So the first 2 episodes set the scene, the 4 heroes joining up, proving their worth and getting their weapons. A sword, a crossbow, a trident, and a mace. Episodes 3 to 6 are them each getting their super armor, aka their Power Rangers suits. 1 per episode. I am impressed with how much action and how fast everything progresses. This is ADHD booking.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be out of time watching it today. It would fit in with modern day sensibilities. Do you want to watch more? Tough shit! Let's do it.
battalion was quite thorough.
There are no survivors, sir.
Aye.
Episode 3 kicks off with Pearl Harbor. No, Galway Harbor. Evil Maeve's forces are defeated by the army playing possum. Or opossum, if you're American.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, we don't have either here, so.
What is the O for?
One that identifies as Irish.
I just want to point out the soldiers of Kells who are playing possum are incredibly lucky that the Temra soldiers didn't do the actual tactic that big field battle soldiers did, where they ran past every down soldier and prodded them with their weapons. They hit them with the kill shot to make sure. So, like,
it's the first battle ever recorded.
The show's over again. Kells is lost.
An astonishing, flawless victory that would be. The foursome decide that although we have to get our super suits, why not just skip to the end of this open world here and fight the Dragon of Dare first? Sure, we've already got new weapons. And they do. A big CG dragon in armor.
Yes.
Who made armor for the dragon? Why would you do that?
Yeah, you're just making him but in kayfabe, like a dragon literally has its own armor anyway. Its scales are supposed to be impenetrable unless you're man from the Hobbit, you know?
It's like if you plastic wrapped a banana. Do you know, you already have a jacket for it protecting the innards. And who's helping him? But who's helping the goodies? Finn Balor. He shows them their next 4 episodes worth of opponents, the Sentinels.
Yeah.
Who each hold a super suit. And I was like, man, this is this big bang of Power Rangers. Rowan's element is fire, but without the super suit, it does little good versus a dragon. I was like, fire against a dragon. It's expected. He is probably resistant to fire and death blight.
Yes.
But weak to frost damage.
What about holy? Yeah.
They have to give up and escape, but not before the dragon burns Angus's pants off.
And we get some drafty jokes.
Hey, we better regroup. Get the super suit first.
A little drafty, is it?
Drafty, is it? Ha!
What am I going to do about me bottoms? Try this.
So they head to the mountains of the north to face the Sentinel in the ice caves. By the way, if you want the suit, you'll have to face the Sentinel by yourself.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, the fire element in the north, i.e. magma, basalt. I was like, we're going to Antrim, baby. We're going to go to the Giant's Causeway. It's going to go great on TV, and it's Wicklow. It's just a boggy mountain in Wicklow.
Yeah. The SFX shots generally quite short, so you don't get a good look of the ropey CG or the outfits. Like, there's a spy for the Queen, like, and he comes out and he hunches over. He's like, and you have to like pause it, but he's got like a pillow, you know, on his back under his shirt. Rowan goes into the cave alone. Who does he find? Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40 with the skeleton mask.
Yes, or Skeletor from the 80s He-Man.
Yes, Skeletor, Blue Warrior. Rowan versus the Ice Sentinel. Gandalf versus Balrog. The dude wins by cutting the stone bridge underneath, and the Ice Sentinel falls down. It's a flawless victory. Gandalf, take notes, mate.
Yeah, totally.
You can play at that game.
These fight scenes are so bad. Like, they're so shit. You know the way when you're making a movie, right? And you're going to do some kind of chase scene or some kind of car scene, and you can take this corner at 30, but we'll get it in the edit and we'll speed it up to make it look like you're going fast. It was like the actors were doing that. We're going to do our choreographed spots, but we're going to do it really slowly. But then they just forgot to speed it up. And so it's just lads doing circles slowly.
And you could tell it's one spot at a time.
Yeah.
Like when they take on the English guy earlier and they swipe and they both jump up. And like that was the entire cut, and then on to the next bit. You can tell, like, you know, it's not fluid at all. Anyway, a flawless victory, and the guy gets his proper outfit, and I was like, oh man, in the daylight, not great looking. It looks like what it is. It looks like hard plastic.
You remember when you were a kid, right? And you wanted this awesome armor set in like Smith's, but it was the 80s and our parents were poor. And they were like, fuck off, you're going to Smith's. And then you go to Pound King. That's what it was. It was like this, this cheap molded plastic. You sound like Robo-Garter when you're walking around, you know? You can actually hear it just rattling. I love it.
So Rohan, with his new powers, freezes the busy work rock monster, and Angus deals the death blow with his seismic mace.
Yet again, I save the day. Yep.
Just this show is such 4 p.m. after the kids come home, whack on RT2 TV show.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I would have been 15 at the time, so I'm a bit too old for it.
Yeah.
But like, if I was 8, I would have loved it.
I would have loved this show if I was 8. I do love how after Rohan gets his, you know, mythical legendary armor, it's Angus who gets the final blow, and he's like, it was me. It was me.
Yeah!
I won the day. He's great.
This is like in a boss fight in Elden Ring, and like Tish is taking care of business, and it's like, let me get the last hit. Yeah, yes, I did it.
Yeah.
Mystic Knight's pasta!
Fire within me.
A raging Mystic Knight's battle!
How shall I repay you?
New Mystic Knight's pasta. An adventure you can eat.
Rohan may have been lucky enough to get his armor, but the princess will never get hers.
Don't worry, Your Highness. The legendary lightning bat will prove to be a formidable foe.
Episode 4. Maeve is worried that Fiona will get her super armor too in the cliffs to the east, so she lures the strongest member, Rohan, who just got his power armor, to her gaff under the guise of a peace treaty. That's the second peace treaty. Of course, it's a ruse, and she immediately says there'll be peace for both kingdoms under my rule.
Yeah.
You know, she gives a menacing speech about you're all doomed to die and all that. But I got like a sexual vibe here. I feel Rohan could have tried his hand and united the realms right there.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
tell all the soldiers here, sod off for sex. Just got a vibe, you know?
Hey, Maeve, I'll show you the real sort of Kells over here, you know? To be fair, she's kind of hot, you know?
Yeah.
You know, that red makeup across the eyes, that's a thing.
I do like how they showcase her to be evil, that they always have a spotlight on top of her, so it kind of shines on her brow and casts her eyes in darkness.
In darkness, yeah.
It's, I think, good.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
well done.
Cool.
You know?
It's cool.
Rohan doesn't even try his hand, and he just gets dropped into a boss fight versus a Cerberus. You know what saves on time and CG rendering? If the boss is invisible.
Yes.
And there's no more apparent outing that the actor who plays Rohan can't swing a sword. Because it's like, right, we're taking you just swing your sword for 10 seconds. And he just...
It's like he's casting a spell in Harry Potter land or something.
Oh my God.
He should have pressed R1 and triangle and dual-handed this and started swinging it like a madman. Give it socks. There are no accidents that can happen here. You just have to not fall.
Aideen, do you see him?
Meanwhile, Maeve fights the lonely Batman atop the cliffs. Do you like this boomerang, lad?
That was... It's like, You know what? I'm actually going to give them credit here, okay? Because someone along the point of making the show said, lads, the fight scenes are gash. So how about we have a fight scene where they don't have to fight? This is like two people who are playing Street Fighter 2. One is Ken, one is Ryu. And they're going to stand on opposite sides of the screen and spam fireballs until someone misses one.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah, she knocks out his boomerang. He's like, you got nothing else. He's like, yeah, you're right. And so she just hits him with the kind of gravity shotgun effect.
Yeah,
and
pocket sand.
Kept knocking him back. And I was like, are you going to fall over the edge? Actually, no, you're just going to be flown to safety as you fade out, you know? Oh my God. And gets her super suit. Yeah, we already ragged on her. Oh my God. That helmet, lads, of all the things to get wrong, their super suit, which is the main selling point of the series.
Helmet above me. It's awful.
Yeah, and what'd she do? And with the help of the pixie Aideen, she bails out Rohan from his boss fight. Good job. These four, they'll make a formidable team if they can cooperate.
Make it. Then cut to Rowan walking in and they're all fighting.
It's only a show.
Especially on a totally nice.
Cooperation. That lesson may take some time.
I feel like it's a bit cheaty that the fairy had the two bones summoned, the ghost bones, and that's how they tricked the dogs. But, you know, whatever. They're meant to be a team.
Yeah. She does help out a lot. And like they get caught underneath some rocks and she just makes one of them disappear. So.
Yeah. Yep. And she's not quite as annoying as Navi.
Yes.
Know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey! Listen!
What am I going to do about me bottoms?
Watch out! Look!
Episode 5. English lad has a dream where he's inside a real bad acid trip. Failing to stop a thief. Hey, that was introduced back in the pilot.
Yeah.
Long-term booking.
Long-term booking.
Now it's time for the Sassanach to get his mystic armour. This time to the south and the rugged shore. He gets the goods if he can defeat the sea serpent. And what follows is the worst PvP battle in history as they both spam ranged attacks that don't land. Ivar here backdoors his way into a victory. You know, throwing the electricity. He misses him, hits the water, and then it bzzz.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what happens is, okay, so there's the A story and the B story. A story is where someone gets their armor, and the B story is what the other trio do. Yeah. And the other trio are fighting a giant cyclops, and it's not going great for the trio. So they get Aideen, the pixie, to, here, listen, go up to Ivar and tell him you're needed. And if you were the sea serpent and you saw someone go to your opponent and say, will you finish this guy so we can get back to the real job?
You'd be, come on. What about me?
It's so demoralizing.
He should have just backed out of the fight, because if he doesn't fight, he can't lose.
There we go. And you don't get your stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. Just disconnect the modem.
It's like fighting Crota in Destiny. That's brilliant. People actually did that. So so Crota was a second raid, and when it first dropped, like, the raid is short, but the Crota fight was quite difficult. So there was a long setup to get him to the phase where he could take damage, and everyone lined up and they would fire their heaviest weapons at him, and you'd probably have to do it like 3 or 4 times. But someone figured out that when you got the damage phase, if everyone pulled out their modem, he stayed in damage phase and you could just fire your rockets and cheese him.
That's so clever.
Yeah.
Like, as a dev, you'd never think of that.
No.
As an eventuality to cheese. That's brilliant. Genius, lads.
Hold on, little fella.
So the busy work of the giant cyclops, I love, there is one extra who takes a bump from his whatever blast and it's yes,
janitor bump.
Yeah, it is incredible.
Ivar has a dream at the start, and he wants to find the missing chalice of Britland, you know? And he is conflicted because on one side he's promised his kingdom that he's going to find their missing treasure, but he's also promised Rohan that he will join his quest, and he doesn't know what to do. And Princess Deirdre just walks up and goes, well, you're a royal, and a royal can only make the correct decision. I was like, that's a bit of a heel mindset, isn't it? You're better because your blood is this.
We are royalty. Royalty always makes the proper decision.
But he does have a whopper blue armor. That's like my favorite of the super suits.
It is pretty cool. Yeah.
Just FYI, the whole reason to make the show was merchandise. And they had to get the wheels spinning for it before they shot the TV show. They had to already give the blueprints to Hasbro or whoever. And they didn't cast your man yet. And so they didn't know it was going to be a black guy. So all of the merch has Ivar as a white guy.
Oh, shit.
It could be worse. They do these bigger, like 6-inch figures. And it's like, okay, they're pretty good. But they just don't have Deirdre at all. So it's just the lads.
Oh, wow.
So, you get what you get.
Yeah.
But what about the Cyclops? With Super Ivar, it's now 4-on-1 and he doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out, much like the end of episode 3, it was Angus's plan to run around in circles and surround him. So he saved the day again.
Well done, mate. Look at that.
Who needs armor when you've got brains?
Well, I guess that leaves you out.
What? You think I'm afraid?
I merely observe that within you beats the heart of a petty thief. I'm shrinking.
Our final episode, episode 6. 3 of the quartet now have super armor. It's time for Angus, the petty thief, to get his. It is odd that a thief, like a scurrilous little bollocks, should be chosen as a mystical knight.
Yeah. I feel like the rules of D&D and all that stuff, like you've always got your paladin and your knight and your soldier and you've got your thief. So I feel like it's par for the course for fantasy settings.
I love that explanation. That's what we're going with. He'll have to fight the Rock Wolf to the west alone if he wants it. But he is not very confident about it. See, Angus is quite pug-nosed and harbouring feelings of unworthiness and resorts to his old ways, trying to steal some of Cod's potions. He instead gets captured by some goons.
Hired goons.
So many heels in pop culture and in RPG land, they seem to live a miserable experience. They're just warmongers and that's it. They're kind of a 2D character. But we get to see Maeve having a bit of a Kaylee audition.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? I suppose heels still want to have a bit of crack, You
never see that side, so I really did like it.
Yeah.
This doubles as the setup to some nice subterfuge, as later it gives the trio a handy disguise to make their way into Maeve's presence. Why? To rescue Angus. Ivar tells him, fear is the companion of great deeds, but never their master.
I think that's a good line.
It's like, where'd you squirrel that one away from? That is Yoda level advice. Come on.
Fear is the companion of those who do great deeds, but never their master.
Brilliant. And who are they fighting? Despite Angus being there when the big bad of the episode, the giant 2-legged bull, attacks, he leaves to get his super armor. It's like, but we need you right here. You couldn't be any closer to the fight.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to leave for 3 days trek night and day.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't have. I suppose Ireland is small. You know what I mean? But it's not like that. They've got cars that can go 120 on a fucking motorway. You know what I mean? At the very most, they've got a horse.
A lovely horse.
Yeah. So you know what? Yesterday I was in Enfield, which is a town in Meath that's quite next to the Kildare border. Okay. Enfield became a town because it was literally an inn in a field, and it built up slowly over time because on the route from Dublin, Enfield was about the distance that a horse could travel in a single day. In a car, you get there in 25 minutes. You know what I mean? But like, this is an entire day travel.
Yeah.
So yeah. You're like, so they're fighting for days, sweating buckets.
Do you think when it hits 5 o'clock, they're just, a whistle blows and they all just like break out their packed lunches?
Yes.
See you at 9 in the morning. Like, Angus finds the rock wolf, and I love that when he finds him, he's told to sod off. You're not worth the fight.
It's great.
It's like, get it.
Yeah.
Actually got a laugh out of me.
Cal sends you to challenge my might. This is an insult. Go away.
Angus just spams the circle button. Just, Miyazaki, very proud. Creates a diversion with his mace and uses it to hoosh the rock wolf up the arse. Died. Brilliant. He runs back to the poor trio. What do they do?
He grabs a piece of red cloth and he does the old taro, and the bull runs into the wall, gets stuck, and then they blam him up the arse. And they save the day. The bullet emperor is gone.
And so we have it. All 4 Mystic Knights have their super armor and can call upon their powers, but only to be used in times of dire need. Evil Queen Maeve has been thwarted and is planning her next move, but our heroes will be ready. The Kingdom of Kells is safe for now, thanks to the Mystic Knights of Tir Na Nog.
Tir Na Nog.
Mystic Knights have come to save our lives. Mystic Knights have come to save our time.
In order to bring Kells to its knees, those Mystic Knights must be eliminated. I will unite the 4 Sentinels of Temra and have them fight in a single unconquerable force.
We're in overtime, McMahon. Episode 7. Maeve's been scuppered so many times she's threatened by Mitre to have her powers revoked. But, much like Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat 2, her cunning plan saves her, although it's the same plan as the last time. But hey, this is it. Unite the 4 Sentinels of the last 4 episodes, and together you can face the Mystic Knights 4-on-4 Survivor Series style. And that they do, in an 8-man standoff with 7 men, 1 woman. In the biggest shocker, the Sentinels win!
Whoa!
And the Mystic Knights retreat. All thanks to teamwork. The baddies even got the goodies weapons. So you managed to grab Deirdre and it was like, "Here, give us your weapons or we'll kill her." And they're like, "Okay, here's the weapons." And the goodies all run away. The lesson was in humility. That was the lesson they needed to learn. Sometimes you got to retreat to live to fight another day.
Yeah.
It is better to surrender and to fight another day.
But the next battle cannot end in failure. For all of Kells will then surely be lost.
We need Pyre. We'll have to face him without our weapons.
And face the Sentinels too.
We will. No surrender. No retreat. No surrender.
Episode 8. Our crew are learning life lessons all over the place. This time from the noble turtle, or dog in modern parlance, in Elden Ring, that if your powers are ineffective, wait until your opponent tires out.
It's the Homer Simpson boxing strategy.
Yes! All you can see is Homer punching the pillow with the fly that goes on it. And then the fly flies off afterwards.
They should have traded in their weapons for sterile 2x4s.
Yes. Angus, the headstrong dum-dum, walks straight into a trap. He has been frozen in place after standing on a pixie rock.
Was he frozen in carbonite by any chance?
No, he just, we can't afford carbonite.
Yeah. Carbon shite.
So the rest of the crew can't go in and retrieve him because they'll turn rigid as well. So they lasso him and then they get him and then they pull a mannequin clothed in his clothes out.
Yes. Yes.
It was the worst. It was amazing. Queen Maeve has scored a big victory again and has taken over most of the land. The lads have lost their weapons. They can't tame the dragon pyre. And both the leprechauns of Tir Na Nog and Cod won't help them out. I was like, I'm so impressed. They're actually showing our heroes at a low point. You know, instead of just jobbing out the baddies every week, oh, I'll get you Gadget, you know, I'll be back next week. You know, this is them. They're on the back foot. I love it.
We were able to defeat them before, when we separated them.
But how do we separate those pack of wolves?
You forget. We had our weapons then. You're right.
I know!
How do we get our weapons back? Cleverly, the pixie Aideen feigns turning heel, lures the 4 sentinels into the same pixie ground, and stuns all 4 baddies. Queen Maeve goes in for the big win, you know, makes her final assault on Kerr Castle. For shame, attacking when the citizens are playing some hurling. Heel heat.
Clare versus Cork was going on. Aired on the BBC for the first time.
And then the big action scene, as the budget allows. Most of the action is people running away or towards a location. Pretty tame. The baddies are defeated, but like no one is ever hurt as you'd expect. Usually either they retreat via their own 2 legs or they're teleported out. So the war can never end because there's never any casualties.
Yeah.
There's no actual danger. Like when they go in and face the dragon, his fire breath kind of just knocks people back. So it's like a force push.
That's right. When a turtle is attacked, it doesn't attack back. It waits for its attacker to wear itself out.
The arc closes with Fire Knight versus the dragon himself. All the way back from episode 3. He tires the dragon out by spamming the block button on his fire breath. He's just hit,
yes,
hit, and then riding him. So now our heroes have a dragon. Comes in, save the day, and the baddies are, well, I'm out. I'm out.
Now this is more like it.
I really like that they didn't kill the dragon. They tamed it for an ally. That's even better. So with the 4 special powers and the dragon, can they summon Draganta and end the war? 9 episodes into a 50-episode run. Find out on YouTube.
Was a scroll of magic rhymes that prophesy the mystic nights, the true young heroes brave and bright. Then the dark forces came, brought the people endless pain. Now the children have no fear, cause they know the mystic nights are here. Mystic nights have come to save our lives. Mystic nights have come to save our times. Mystic nights have come to save.
Mystic Knights, Tir Na Nog.
There we go. Did you enjoy that one?
I did. It's so much fun. Thank you very much for watching those other episodes. That sounds great.
Ooh, you're very welcome. Yeah, it is fun. I was like, all right, I've got to get back to work. I can't just
watch 50 episodes of Mystic Knights of Tir Na Nog. As much as I'd like to.
But hey, why did Spaceman choose this?
Tubular space knot, arachnid astronaut.
He has many pseudonyms.
Are there other names?
One's his Mystic Knight name, one's the regular day-to-day.
Okay. Hey there, I'm pumped.
Hello.
I'm pumped you're reviewing this blast from the past. I chose Mystic Knights for a few reasons. One being the Irish connection that, much like Fatal Deviation, I figured it would be entertaining for you all, or as they say in the West, y'all, to see what is essentially the Irish Power Rangers. Another is a personal reason. He had the movie on VHS as a kid and watched it so much that he wore the tape out. I thought it was amazing and it was a constant favourite growing up. I even had all the Knights action figures, both the Happy Meal tie-ins and the proper ones, and even the fifth Knight, Garrett, not Bischoff.
Oh my God, Gunner!
The Mystic Knight of the Forest, who wasn't on the VHS tape. Of course, no other kid knew who they were, as they were long off the air by the time I started watching. So, much like the Power Rangers, the Mystic Knights also got their Green Ranger. That's awesome. Looking back, I think my favourite
All
bit...
of our knights are green.
Is that because they're not very well trained?
Very good, very good.
Looking back, I think my favourite bit was probably the whole fight with Rohan and the Ice Knight. As a kid, I thought it was the coolest battle. No pun intended.
Hey.
He seemed like a natural leader type and his sword looked awesome. Fire within me! And Rohan's transformation was sick with how the fire forced his armour. A runner-up for my favourite bit would be when they visit Finn Vara. I just thought he was cool and his whole dwelling looked pretty cosy.
Oh.
Looking back on the show as an adult, the effects are horribly dated, the acting is cheesy, the tone is very much in the line of Power Rangers, but it's a lot of fun and it brings back warm memories from my youth. I hope you all enjoyed watching The Mystic Knights and the others that learn about its cheesy awesomeness through your review. Cheers, Spaceman.
Oh, thank you, mate.
Mate,
Yeah, we quite
thank
enjoyed
you
that.
so much. I did not know that this was a thing. I think by the time it came out, I was beyond the age group that would have cared or have seen it. But I'm so glad that as a 40-year-old married man, I got to go back and transform into a kid once again and watch these couple of episodes. It was so much fun.
Oh, we'll get you some of those McDonald's little figures.
Ooh.
They look great, by the way.
Do they?
Yeah, they even had like Queen Maeve and stuff in it. I was like, anyway, just have a look at this photo, yeah? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Give it to me.
Cancellation. Unfortunately, the numbers in toy sales couldn't match up to the lofty goals of Power Rangers. What could? And the showrunners refused to sell out the show by adding toy line gimmicks. Like, here's a big play truck they can fit in, do you know what I mean? So we can sell merch, you know?
Imagine them driving around.
It would be a wagon. A wagon with like plastic on
A
it.
Wanderly wagon.
They also booked the trend by having character development and weaving long-term plot lines, and even adding a new member, Garrett, into the fray. The budget would have gone into Series 2 Battle Thunder, but when it was cancelled, it was given to the new Power Rangers show Lost Galaxy instead.
There we go. What's the point in wasting money on a show that's not going to do well when you can funnel into something that's making you a billionaire?
That's the thing. I suppose that's why you make the big shows, is that you can do your little passion projects as well.
You would think that that's it, but unfortunately...
Like, isn't that what EA
The goal is making money. Yeah. You are correct there. Unfortunately, I feel like that's becoming less and less common as everything gets swallowed up by bigger companies and the goal becomes money. You're going to get less and less of that over time.
Some of the sets from Mystic Knights were rejiggered and used in the St. Paddy's movie from 2000.
Okay.
I was like, how much CGI do you have? Irish CGI do you have in that?
The leader will soon reach the ice cell where the armor lies.
Cancellation may not have been the worst, as Angus would have left and been replaced by a new guy, Liam, who'd use lightning. But it's like, we already have a guy that does lightning, so
that's true. Yeah,
find the new element, mate.
Yeah.
He could.
Look, he fires shamrocks.
Okay, I was thinking of Deathblight.
Whoa.
I was like,
you're just going full Elden Ring here.
He would. No, you gotta find one that won't work.
What about ice?
Black flame magic, like the giant's magic.
Yeah, but like ice.
No, that's too evil, isn't it?
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah. You could have holy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, that would work, right? Yeah. The gold. Yeah. No one has gold.
I will hit you with the power of Christianity. You know.
It just gets weaker every year, does it?
Yeah.
Less people show up. Actually, if you knew of this show from back in the day, please let us know in the comments. I'd love to know if you watched this as a kid. I will say, just Saban Entertainment, at least bring this out on streaming, mate. You know, put it on a canvas in glorious 1080p. Or give it to me, I'll digitize it, I'll get it out there. Come on.
Get it on the RTE player, lads, yeah?
And then no one can see it because it just buffers, is it? All right. Oh, man. How'd you enjoy that one?
That was loads of fun.
Yeah, enjoy that. I always love reviewing Irish stuff.
Yeah.
You get to take the piss out of ourselves.
I feel like we get an extra pep in our step whenever we do anything Irish. Because we have fun slagging other countries. We have the most fun slagging ourselves.
Yeah, fantastic. So if you want to watch any of our other Nogger You exclusives, you can chuck us some Arrogant.
Arrogant?
Yeah.
Tack? Oh, no, that's...
Coop the punt.
Ta. Sha. Jeez, I'm getting my Irish and Polish mixed up now. Jesus Christ.
But the Irish and the Polish and the Germans, you can all throw us a couple of bucks and watch these exclusive videos at noggeryou.oswreview.com. So that leaves us just with one more thing to say, and it's a goodbye from V1.
Take a boo.
And your boy, the 2.5-time Golden Nogger Award winner, Jay Hunter. And remember, what's winner is you in Irish? Anyway,
I haven't a fucking clue.
Yeah, we don't have a word for winner in Irish. Buaiteoi. Look how many vowels in a row. Is waiter too. And remember, is waiter too. There, that's all I got.